Hi there. I'm Joryn Jenkins. I'm a collaborative lawyer, and I have a poster that I use in my process, in actually my team meetings, that I'd like to share with you today. It's the poster that I call, well, everybody would call this, the roadmap to collaborative resolution. You know, a lot of people are visual. We lawyers tend to think in words, but many people do think more visually, and so I try to help folks understand the process with more visuals. This actually has a lot of words on it, but it's the best that I could do. And people use this, they understand this because I've got it, you know, laid out for them, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It helps me and my team keep the clients on track. I don't know if you've had this problem, but quite often we have clients who, they want to leap ahead. They want to leap ahead to brainstorming options, to evaluating options, and they want to skip the initial steps, the homework, the hard work. And so this poster helps me keep them following the roadmap, which is so critical to getting to a good collaborative resolution that everybody has bought into. So here's the roadmap. Number 1, we establish the ground rules. The ground rules are be polite, be patient, be honest, listen actively. A lot of clients need to have that explained to them. We listen actively. We don't interrupt. We focus on the future. We avoid discussing the past. That's not helpful. So focus on the future. Focus on solutions. Avoid blame. Same idea. And then speak for yourself. So use I sentences, not you sentences. You sentences tend to sound like we're blaming. I sentences, we're talking more about how we are feeling, maybe because of what he's saying, but that's not the point. It's, this is how I feel. How can we help me not to feel this way? Or this is how I feel. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. So these ground rules are very helpful. People understand these. They'll ask me questions when I talk about these, when I explain these. And I explain these before the first full team meeting with all of my clients. Step 2, we discard positions and we identify interests. Now, all the collaborative professionals will know what I'm talking about there, but ordinary folks have no clue. So I talk about the problem is taking positions. Well, what's a position? I don't understand. Well, a position is what we want to avoid. An interest is how we get to what we want to pursue. So ask why. So if the position is I want the house, the question why will get you to the real interests. I want the house because, and so many of my clients get this, I want the house because I want my kids to stay in the house they grew up in. I want my kids to go to a good school. I want my kids to have their own bedrooms. I want a home office. I want safety. I want security. I mean, these are all interests, not positions, because we can satisfy interests in multiple ways. We can satisfy a position only one way. I want the house. If you don't get the house, you're not happy. But if I can make you feel safe and secure and your kids go to the same school and they have the same friends and they're in the same neighborhood, maybe you're just as happy in a different house that shares those attributes. So the problem is taking positions, and here I have it laid out a little differently. You, I want the orange. Me, I want the orange. What's the interest? Why do you want the orange? I want to make orange peel candy. Well, I want to make mimosas. How do we get to a winning solution? You get the peel, I get the juice. Oh, look at that. We both got what we wanted, and there's only one orange between us. That's amazing. So arguing positions limits your options and may result in agreements that fail to satisfy the party's actual interests. When I explain this way, I use either the house analogy or the orange analogy. People get it. They understand. And so then back in the meeting, when this is always up on the wall, I have these Velcroed to my whiteboard. I can say, let's focus on the interests here. Remember, interests, not positions. And both of the clients right away get it. They know, they understand, and they get back on track. Step 3, after we identify the interests, we address the temporary issues. That's critical if there's a temporary issue. If there's no temporary issue, we gloss right over that. It's not important. Step 4, we start gathering and exchanging information. Now understand, I'm not doing all this. This is the team. So identifying interests, most often you'll have done that if you're a client with your facilitator or with your coach. Identifying interests is easiest by the mental health professionals. The lawyers do it too to some degree, but the mental health professionals, the facilitators, the coaches are far better at it. Gathering and exchanging information, that's going to be the lawyers along with usually the financial neutral and possibly the facilitators and coaches as well. So that may be the whole team. We want financial information. We want what's requested. We want what's relevant. Unlike in court where we're sending out discovery requests, motions, and requests for mandatory disclosure, and requests for production of documents, and setting depositions, and sending interrogatories, here we just ask, can I have those documents? Oh yeah, I was getting those for the financial. Actually, I usually just ask the financial for them because the financial neutral is collecting them anyway. And sometimes I don't even need to see those documents because the financial neutral is the one who's wrangling that financial information. I don't have to do it. After we gather and exchange all the information and get all that homework done, then we're brainstorming options. So now we're talking about possibilities. What's the future look like? What's the environment? It's open, it's casual, it's relaxed, it's creative. We're being creative now. Now we're thinking of possibilities. What could happen? What could be done? The participants are the entire team. We do that in a full team meeting. The pace is fast. There's no judging. There's no self-evaluation. No, oh, I shouldn't say that because that just sounds stupid. No, say anything you want. It's fun. It's fun, and because you could say something that seems kind of weird, but it makes someone think of something else that's actually valuable. So brainstorming, look up brainstorming. It's become a big term of art in all kinds of areas. We use it in collaboration all the time, but it's become very top of mind in many professions at this point. Brainstorming. The process, there's no bad idea. What's the brainstorming process? There's no bad idea. There's nothing that's outside of the box. I mean, everything is outside of the box, so throw it up there. Why not? It's off-the-wall ideas. Those lead to helpful ideas, so throw it up there. We actually brainstorm with the whiteboard. We write everything down. And it isn't until later that we're actually evaluating options that we start crossing things off the list. Oh, well, that was silly. Okay, now you can evaluate it was silly, but it led to this idea, which actually might be what we end up with. So now you're evaluating options. How well do they meet your interests? What's the cost benefit to each of the clients? What's the best alternative to the negotiated agreement? That's BATNA, WATNA. What's your worst alternative to a negotiated agreement? And then you step into each other's shoes. How would you feel if you were the one taking that option? Would you be happy if you were he or she who was the one who was doing it instead? And then step 7, select options. You decide, not some judge who doesn't know you or your family or share your interests or understand you. You decide for your unique family what's going to be best for your unique family. You'll have a unique marital settlement agreement, but it will be the one that you came to. It'll be the one that you can live with, that you're comfortable with. And that's how the collaborative process works. That's the roadmap. This is the poster that helps me keep my clients and my team on track. Sometimes we have team members who lose track of where we are in the process, and this helps them as well. So I hope this has been valuable information for you. Get in touch if there's anything that I can do or if you want to buy a copy of the poster.